This episode is about my personal journey with surround sound right up to the moment with Atmos, with Dolby Atmos. And it's happening because just the other day I was in a studio and I heard a Dolby Atmos mix. And I didn't like it. I didn't like anything about it. I didn't like the sound quality. I didn't like the surround environment of the, I didn't like anything about it. But I had to stick around because I didn't want to be too rude and just leave right away. So I stuck around. And as I'm sitting there listening, thoughts are going through my head like, I got to make a video about this because this sucks. It's just so stupid, you know? So anyway, it was uncomfortable. But anyway, it started me thinking about my journey with surround sound. It started in the early 70s when I took the plunge because everyone was talking about quadraphonic. So I bought, did I buy it? Or somehow I wound up with a Sansui. I'm pretty sure it was a Sansui quad receiver, 4-channel receiver. And I had 4 speakers, different brands. I forget what they are. One pair in the front, one pair in the back. And I had some LPs and I played my quadraphonic records. And I sat there and listened and thought, why? It's just weird. Why is the sound? Why is it over there? It's just, when I hear live music, it's right there, right in front of me. That's where the band is playing, right? Yeah, orchestra, jazz, rock music, the band is in front. Sound is just sort of floating around behind me, which happens when you play stereo. So I just didn't understand it. Anyway, so the whole quad period did not last very long for me. And then many years passed, and I was writing for Home Theater Magazine, and I was doing stories about DVD audio and SACD. So they each had multi-channel capabilities. And I was writing for home theater, so I had a home theater set up in my apartment here that I used also for music. Usually the 2-channel part of it, but I could play multi-channel audio through my system, which was all Dynaudio speakers, Dynaudio Contour speakers. So really good speakers. They do home theater really well, and they work great for music. But anyway, it's about the mixes. It's about what exactly do we do with a surround mix? That is the question. And very few people have figured out something that at least satisfies me, and I think the population as a whole, because they're still pretty rare. But there were two. I can think of 2 really good exceptions of 2 surround mixes that I really, really liked. And one was Jerry Harrison of the Talking Heads. He did surround mixes for all of the Talking Heads studio albums. And they were fantastic. Because what he did is he took this stereo mix and just enlarged it, made it bigger and wider, and separated different instruments so you could actually hear the drums more clearly. You could hear the all that's just, he just opened it up. And I thought, that's it. That's how you do surround for music. But I didn't hear too many other people doing that. And then, of course, Steven Wilson of Porcupine Tree, he did surround mixes of like some King Crimson records and Jethro Tull, and I think, yes, progressive rock stuff. And he had a great aesthetic. He did not what Jerry Harrison did. He just created this open space, this spatial environment in which the music lived, which I liked. Not as much as the Jerry Harrison version, but he did good. He was into it. He really put some thought into what constitutes a surround mix for music without a picture. That's the point of this. I'm saying once you have a movie, once you have an image of a band on stage and that's the surround, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about music only with no visual side part to it. Just a music only surround mix. Now, it's interesting. Some of my friends were at the biggest audio show in the world a couple of weeks ago, the high-end show in Munich. And I asked them, what do you think? Was there any Atmos demos there? Any multi-channel music demos going on at the biggest show in the world? And the answer is no. No, not a one, as far as they could tell. So big they couldn't see everything, right? I was at the Axpona show just about a month ago. No surround mixes that I was aware of at that show. So who is this for? That is the question. What is all the hubbub about with Dolby Atmos? Well, and I also asked my friends on Twitter. I asked my friends on Facebook, what do you think? Are you into surround sound, multi-channel? And a couple were, absolutely, yeah. And some of my patrons, I polled my patrons and asked them, what do you think? And 5% said that they had 5 or more speakers in a system that they used for music, multi-channel music playback. Okay, that's 5% there. And then 8% of them said they had a home theater system that they played multi-channel music on. Okay, so there you go. There are people doing it. So I'm not saying that no one is doing it. And if you're doing it and really enjoy it, that's fantastic. I'm not trying to talk you out of it or anything. I'm just giving you my personal experience with multi-channel music. Now, I think the thing that is likely to happen with a more mass acceptance for Dolby Atmos is over headphones, especially apparently true wireless headphones and listening through Apple Music. That seems to be a thing that people, I sense, are really enjoying that. And at some point I will lend an ear to that. That's the only place. I mean, when I think about people who have Atmos at home or for a home theater, most of them have a sound bar. They don't have 5 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 12 speakers in a room. No, they have a sound bar right under their TV, which may be okay for movies, but really for Atmos, for whatever, it's there. And again, if you have that and you're enjoying it, good, 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 good. I don't mean to be too much of a negative guy, even though that's what I'm doing. But anyway, that's my story with multi-channel music. I condensed it down as much as I could. I definitely want to hear from you guys about whether you have thumbs up or thumbs down for multi-channel music, Dolby Atmos included, quadraphonic if you're old enough. And that's it. Okay, so with all that out of the way, it's time to do the multiple Audiophiliac viewer systems, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 systems of the day. This is Tyler's system, and all I can say is, oh boy. The amplifier is a Macintosh MC2105. Preamp is a Macintosh MX110Z. Turntable, Record B812GH with a gray 108 magnesium tone arm clone by Kermadden. I think that's it. Cartridge is a Decca London Super Gold. There's a Revox A77 reel-to-reel in there, and which he found. And he found that one in his neighbor's garage and had it fully restored. The speakers are JBL L100 Classics. All cables are by Morrow. And the guitars, all those old guitars, he says, those are by Gibson. Nice. This is Gasper's system. He's 40 years old. He lives in Slovenia. He's had a lot of high sensitivity speakers, but right now, this is his current system. He gave me a lot of information. Right now, his current system is a Yamamoto A08 power amplifier that he built from kit form with type 45 tubes. There's an L-Kit 8200 integrated amp with 6L6 tubes, a Cosma acoustic passive preamplifier. Now the speakers are vintage, actually from 1978. They're called Coral Beta 10B, and they have full range 10-inch drivers. They're currently in an open baffle, but he's going to put them in these back-loaded horn enclosures. Here they are. And the DAC is a DIY. It's named Dactari. And then he has a Raspberry Pi 3 and VBS audio cables, a bunch of cool stuff, great pictures. Thank you so much, Gasper. This is Ed's system, and he's with his 15-year-old pup, Marley, and they live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they have about 700 records, 500 CDs, and a few SACDs. Now, at first, this looks kind of like a nice little system, but wait, well, the speakers are Klipsch RP600M Mark IIs on homemade stands, and there's a Riga Brio. But wait, look at that turntable. What is that turntable? That is an Audio Diva Atmos Ferra with an Ortofon Super OM10 cartridge going into a Mo5 phono stage / headphone amplifier. It's behind his head. Then there's a well-modified NAD 533 with a Mitchell counterweight 12-inch glass platter and a Riga ISIS cartridge going into the Brio Phono preamp. And capital off a Sony SCD C595 Carousel SACD/CD player. Thanks, Ed. Very, very cool. This is Steven's system. There's a lot going on here. He has two turntables, a Dynavector DV500 with a Dynavector DV507 tone arm, a Dynavector Carat 17D moving coil cartridge, and a Leningau Entity phono stage. Second turntable is a Technics 1200G with a Denon DLA 110GS cartridge, Auditorium 23 step-up transformer, and a Modrite PH9 phono stage. For digital, there's a Salk Stream Player 3 SE music server that's running Roon, Line Magnetic 32 DAC, Benchmark Media 3B DAC, and a Stack Audio Link 2 streamer. For amplification, a lot of Line Magnetic, a Line Magnetic AS123 tube buffer, Line Magnetic AS125 amplifier, Line Magnetic AS133 preamplifier, Line Magnetic 210A integrated amplifier. But there's more. There's an L-Kit TU8600S integrated amp and a Modrite 100 SE. Those rather large speakers are Line Magnetic 812 Iconic. The subwoofer is Nuschka. That's the long coat German Shepherd. Nice going, Steve. This is Gavin's system. He lives in Kildare, Ireland. He has an Audiolab 6000A amp, Wharfdale Linton's 85th anniversary edition speakers, and iFi Zen DAC V2. And the sources he's using are Apple Music, Amazon Music, and Spotify through an iPad. The TV, that big TV, is a LG 75-inch, and headphones. For headphones, there's a Sennheiser Drop HD 6XX and Beyerdynamics DT990 Pro. And Gavin points out there is a shit stack on the way. He's really looking forward to that. Thank you, Gavin. This is Stefan's system. He lives in Israel. He's retired, and he's 71 years old. He has an iFi Zen streamer transport, a Sony UPB X700 Blu-ray player, a Cyrus CD transport, a Cyrus i9 XR DAC amplifier, and Audio Vector R3 speakers. Nice going. Thank you, Stefan. Okay, so we're back. My name is Steve Guttenberg, and I am, as you can tell, the genuine article. There is a scammer or scammers out there pretending to be me and asking you guys, my viewers, for money that he's gonna send you something. No, never send any money to me that way. The only time that I'm asking you to send money is to join my Patreon. That is the only place that I ever ask people to send me money by. And Patreon is what's helped support this channel. It's been going on almost 6 years, the channel is. So for everyone who's ever contributed to my Patreon, thank you so much. You can join for a couple of bucks a month, up to 50 or 100. You can join for a month or two and then stop. You don't have to sign a contract or anything. It's pay what you will for as long as you like. Anyway, that's where to go. And then, of course, if you just like a given video, yes, please hit the thumbs up, the like button. Very important to the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm. And hey, if you have yet to subscribe to this channel, please do that. Hit the subscribe button. And when you do, hit that little notification bell so you'll be notified every time there is an amazing, and even not so amazing, new episode. And with that, I can say my work here is at last complete. Thank you so much for watching, and I really, really do hope to see you back here again very, very soon. Bye-bye.